Hey! Hey! I need to go. Good morning, campers. Did I start recording before that guy pulled up in front? Oh my gosh. Alright. Time for me to leave. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are in Cheyenne, Wyoming. That's gonna be an interesting start to the video. I completely forgot that I hit record before that happened. I just like literally just put it in gear and start rolling, and someone pulls in front of me and parks. Like, what the heck? Certainly made my day a little bit more interesting. Anyway, we are rolling. I need to get in the left lane because we've got a diverging diamonds to do. I'm gonna get a red light here, aren't I? Cover the brake. Nope, cool. Alright. Gently now. Through the diamond. Opposite side of the road. I love these interchanges. They're so much smoother than lots of others. And one that's this big can absolutely accommodate like Rocky Mountain doubles and triples with no issues. Or a 53-foot trailer with the axles way too far back. Like me. We are currently 1 notch behind the Canada maximum backward limit. But we're not going to Canada, so it doesn't matter. We're a little bit tail heavy on this load. Not too bad. Honestly, the most balanced would probably be to just drive with this trailer's axles at the rear. But I don't really want to do that, because that's, at least having them kind of in the middle makes it a little bit more maneuverable, even if it's still got a lot of off tracking. I love Cheyenne. I spend so much downtime in this city. It's ridiculous. This is like my 3rd time here this week. It's such a great little city. I mean, just as if you're a truck driver, it's a great little city. I know some people who live here that aren't huge fans, but it's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's got like 6 truck stops, probably more than that actually. No, yeah, I know at least 7, 8. I know 8. All right, major slowage. My refrigerator just opened. No! Got it! No, I didn't. Damn it. Alright, we'll have to pull over somewhere. Merge first, fridge second. Merge first, fridge second. traffic. I don't like that loop. It's a very slow loop for a heavy truck. Oop. Why did my fridge just randomly come open? That's frustrating. Alright, what's the next exit? The next exit doesn't have a way back onto the freeway without doing a U-turn that's not legal. So we're not going to use that one. The next one after that, though, is just a standard diamond with a Walmart distribution center. I need my hazard lights on. We're going 40 mile an hour. Why did my fridge just open? Just Freightliner problems. Once we deal with the refrigerator, most of this video is going to be about, or I guess half this video is going to be about GPS and what I think you should do with GPS systems, because people constantly ask me about my GPS, and I constantly have to tell people that the way I do it is probably not good for someone looking for advice on what GPS to use should not ever do what I do, because if you need a GPS, the system I use is not for you. The system I use is for me because I don't need a GPS. I don't need my truck telling me where I'm going and what turns I'm making. Gosh, we're still going only 55. So what I do, so first off, my truck has a built-in GPS. It's part of the electronic log that I have in my truck. It's a Qualcomm OmniTrax device with Navigo GPS. So the Navigo GPS is programmed by Prime. It's excellent at final mile directions because they'll often program it with the exact route that you need to take through a city to get to your customer. It's very windy out here right now. Good grief. Alright, we need to pull over anywhere on this ramp, really. Normally I would, no parking on the ramp. Oops, we're going to violate that a little bit. Normally I would pull to the on-ramp, but this off-ramp is long enough. I think we'll be alright. Stopping here. Solo un momento. Okay. This is good. After the warning sign for the stop sign. And stop. Yes? Yes. Alright, enjoy the scenery for a moment while I figure out what the heck's going on with my refrigerator. Why are you open? Why? What have you done? Alright, is that good? That's not good. What's blocking this? That looks good. That was fun. All right. Shoes back on. Whew. Okay. Seatbelt. Armrests. Brakes. Gear. Go. Nobody coming down the ramp? No one coming down the ramp. Cool. That was odd. There was a power cord had somehow gotten closed in the door of my fridge, so it didn't close all the way. Gotta love it. Coming to a full and complete stop for the stop sign, but slightly past the stop sign because I need to be able to see all the traffic. Stop. Go. Zero traffic. It is fairly windy out here. Y'all see all the rippling in the grass? It's cool. It's really cool. 6th gear. Skipping straight to 8th? Yeah, 8th gear. But yeah, so I've got my truck-based GPS. That is the one provided by Prime. That one's not ideal especially on long distance trips. It often goes much farther out of route than you need it to, because Prime's GPS very heavily favors 4-lane divided highways and freeways over state highways or 2-lane highways. So an example of this is right now State Highway 2 is closed across the Missouri River. So you can't go from Nebraska City to I-29 at the moment in Nebraska, in Iowa. It's currently underwater. But there's a detour you can take that's not that much farther. It's the shortest possible detour you can take. You just go down US Highway 75 from Nebraska City and pick up US Highway 36. What city is that? It's in Kansas. You pick up Highway 36 in Kansas. Then you come into St. Joseph from the west. Once you're in St. Joseph, you can either, if you're going on I-29 in either direction, you can hop on 229 to get there, or you can just, if you're going straight through, you can just stay on 36. It's got like one stoplight and a bunch of really short ramps, so you've got to take it pretty slow through St. Joseph. But it is limited access, so it's a pretty decent little road through St. Joe. But because it's mostly only 2 lanes, even though in Kansas it's a 2-lane freeway, as in like it's got on ramps, off ramps, and just no passing lanes. Like it's basically like this, but instead of having 4 lanes and a median in the middle, it's just both lanes are on the same side, and all the bridges are built so they can add the other 2 lanes going the opposite direction anytime they want. But that's a perfectly good road. That's an excellent road for a trucker, because it is such low traffic that people can still get around you no problem, just in the standard passing areas that you encounter on a 2-lane highway. Let's set our cruise control for 58 miles an hour. Blistering 58 mile an hour. We're 12 and a half minutes into this video already, and I really haven't gotten that far. But you've also heard in my videos, especially recently, you've heard some Google Voice, which is the Google Maps app on my cell phone. So what I do is I don't particularly heavily favor GPS. I don't need my GPS to tell me where I'm going and how I'm getting there. I use my atlas and directions written by other drivers for the most part. Every now and then you get a customer where you're the first person to go there and you've got to figure out your way in. But for the most part, you can use the atlas for getting between cities, and then driver directions for getting to a customer from the nearest highway. And I use that and then manually plug my route into Google Maps, or if Prime's Navigo GPS is close enough to that route, I will keep Navigo up. But another thing I just use Navigo for, a lot of the times I have it up, it's just in what's called Follow Me mode, which just shows you your current location in a top-down map view. It's got your latitude and longitude, it's got the speed limit on the road you're on, it's got the current time and what time zone you're in. It's extremely useful to just have that information up on there. It'll tell you what city, what county, and what state you are in as well. All that information right up there on the screen while you're driving. It's fantastic if you are a nerd like me who played way too many video games and just like having a mini map in the corner of your screen, essentially. Screen in the corner of your view. Not now, buddy. Yeah, so that's one of the primary ways I do it. But I just try to learn my route and navigate myself. I have a very good sense of direction. That's why I don't have a truck GPS. If I'm going into an area, I don't want a computer telling me when I'm making my turns. I want to know what turns I'm making, and maybe just have a computer to tell me how far away they are. Like, if the first time you're seeing your exit number is when the GPS tells it to you, I think that's a problem. I don't think that's good navigation, personally. So I strongly encourage you to get to the point where you don't need a GPS. Even still, try navigating without any kind of GPS. Like, keep your don't even have the Navigo up in Follow Me mode. Just get your directions off of the just through your atlas, like I need this highway, this highway, this highway, write them on your windshield. Check it out in Google Maps on the satellite view before you go there. Don't have the map app open telling you when to turn and stuff, because there's a lot of times where you need to ignore your GPS. Like, every GPS has mistakes. Every GPS will send you down roads you should not be on, and you need to be fully aware of what route you are supposed to be on so you know when to ignore your GPS, which is a lot. Especially if you're using Google Maps. Google Maps is not a truck GPS. It does not have low bridges in it. It does not have truck routes in it. It is just a tool mostly for like seeing traffic conditions up ahead. It's got speed traps in it now, which is kind of useful. I mean, I can't really speed in most roads, but it's helpful to know where the speed traps are because other drivers act like idiots around cops. So it's good to know when that's going to start happening. People also often flag troopers on the side of the road with somebody pulled over as a speed trap, so you know that's coming up and you can be prepared to get over if you need to. But yeah, it's good for that. It's not good for guiding yourself to the customer. Like, it's a mini map and it's a tool for helping you stay on the route that you've chosen, not a tool for providing you with your route. Do you understand the distinction I'm making there? It's complicated. Like, so a thing you can do is take a dry erase marker, and with a dry erase marker you can write on the inside of your windshield. Important note, make sure you do that like behind your, use the space that's behind your sun visor when it flips down, because some places will get annoyed with you if you've got writing on other parts of your windshield. But like any cameras and stuff should be within like a couple inches of the bottom of your windshield, or a couple inches of the top of your windshield. It should not be in the middle anywhere. But you can use that. You can use your written directions to help you get to your customer. And it's really important when you're going into like a dense urban area, if you've got a delivery there, be familiar with the highway system around that city first. Like, if you know which freeways go where, if you miss your exit, you can get back to it. Because in a city, you don't want to be going to the next exit, taking that ramp, and then trying to turn around, because that's how you get into really bad situations. Like that driver who got his 53-foot trailer wedged between a couple of walls in West Virginia that turned out were only 52 feet apart. Like, that's how that sort of thing happens, is taking an exit in a city that you aren't expecting to take. It's better in a city to use the highways to loop back around on each other. So you're looking for 4-leaf clover interchanges where you can just go through the sequence of ramps to get going in the opposite direction. Those are super helpful. Or you're looking for like a loop highway that you can go out to this loop highway, go around the loop again, and come back at your exit ramp from the same direction, so you even know what lane you need to be in ahead of time this time. That's a good way to be late to your customer, so I recommend you always have a little bit of extra time built in, just in case you do something like miss your exit. But knowing the highway system around your customer will help you in situations where you have made a wrong turn or taken the wrong exit or not taken an exit at all. It's very important. Like, in particular, I think Portland is a very good one to just kind of memorize the highway layout. I get lost there all the time, but I know a set of truck routes. Like, I know 205, I know Highway 14, Highway 5. What are you doing? What are you doing? What is that? Why did you do that? When was that maneuver? Why did you just brake check that deer? Are you about to pull over on the side of the highway? No? Okay. Well, okay, so I don't even know what that was. Portland, 84, Interstate 5, Interstate 205, Washington Highway 14. Also a really good one that's super helpful because it goes past a lot of places that I deliver, probably you do too. Marine Drive and the Route 30 bypass route. Those are all excellent highways that you should know before you go anywhere in Portland, because you can use all those highways to feed back in on each other to get back to your exit. Both my headlights are on. Why is he flashing his lights at me? I just checked all my lights. They're all fine. I'm not using my high beams. I don't know what that was. A little weird. But yeah, so that's my opinions on GPS. I hope recommended GPS is to use your atlas. And if you drive for a company like Prime that has a database of directions to all your customers, I strongly encourage you to use those directions over anything your GPS tells you for getting to customers. And if you've got a situation where you don't have directions to your customers, really important resources you can call. You can either call your customer. They'll usually have if it's a big warehouse or something, you'll usually have directions to the facility for truck drivers. Or you can also call local law enforcement. They're usually pretty helpful at getting you, helping you get from the highway to your customer without causing any incidents. Because trust me, they know where the trucks get stuck. Because they have to get them out again. So yeah, that's my advice there. I hope that's helpful. Let me know if you've got other opinions. I'm not going to recommend any particular Garmin or Rand McNally GPS units. I think they've all got some pretty big flaws that should not be trusted. But again, if you've got a GPS that you like, plug in your own route manually. Set waypoints, force it onto the route that you've chosen from your map and from your customer directions. Don't let the GPS tell you where you're going. Use the GPS as a tool to help you stay on the route that you've already chosen. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Ellie O'Dare. You can find me on the internet at Ellie O'Dare, no apostrophe in my username, on Twitter, Xbox Live, Steam, Nintendo Switch, and plenty of other places. Come say hi. Don't bother messaging me on Facebook because I probably won't see it because Facebook sucks. And I don't accept friend requests from strangers on Facebook. That's mostly just a family thing. But come say hi on Twitter. I'm on Twitter all the time. It's public. You can follow me without me even having to okay anything. And you can just like follow my posts and say hello. Just try not to look like a robot because I do like robots. There's a lot of robots on Twitter. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I do check Twitter every time my truck stops rolling, so that's the best place to get a hold of me. Thank you for watching and have a great day. I intend to have a great night because I will be driving all night.